Welcome back, beautiful people. It's your TTA Pro, Mr. O, back with another episode. النهارده هنراجع على passage EST reading the image or the picture of Dorian Gray. So the passage ده it's not easy وبرضه الأسئلة بتاعتها برضه مش سهلة. So خدوا بالكم بالpoints دولت. A quick review هنا في البداية كfiction, right? As a fictional passage هنا في البداية بيظبط لي setting. هنا بيقدم لنا الباراجراف اللي بعديها بيقدم المين كاركتر لورد هنري ووتون وبيقدم لك برضو السيتويشن. هنا بقى بيقدم لك اليونج مان بازل بصل, right? And then here we have a dialogue ما بين لورد هنري وبصل وانيون. And so بصل مش عاجبه شغله, مش عاجبه الارت بتاعته. هو بيقول الارت ده الزباله وحش قوي. لورد هنري بيحاول يقنعه, يقول له ما دخلش رايك في الموضوع. وده المين conflict by the way اللي بيجي هنا في الاخر. That's the main conflict. So بيقول لك ما دخلش رايك في الموضوع, سيبك من افكارك. تيجي تدخل افكارك هيبوظ الارت. Okay, so these are the points in this passage. So let's begin with question number one. Now, question number one, ده من questions هتشوفوها, right? The narrative perspective, the point of view, right? This is point of view. Point of view. In the first three paragraphs is best characterized as. So من هنا لهنا, how can we characterize this? An omniscient observer focusing primarily on sensory details. يعني omniscient observer في حاجة اسمها third person omniscient. وده point of view معين, ده basically واحد بيشرح لك كل تفاصيل في القصة, يعرف أفكار الكاركترز, يعرف جايين منين, يعرف background information, يعرف السيكرتس بتاعتهم, يعتبر زي إله كده في القصة, right? يعرف كل حاجة وأي حاجة. So is this an omniscient observer? Yes, because also we know like how Bustle feels, right? Right here, we know how Lord Henry is شخصيته, we know memories بتاعته, right? Making him think of, بيقول لك أفكاره. So this is all omniscient. بالنسبة ل sensory details, the primary focus sensory details. أيوة برضو كان بيوصف لك light summer wind, وبيوصف لك trees والperfume, بيوصف لك cigarette اللي بيشربها painting. All these are sensory details. See, touch, taste, smell, right? So I like answer A. Answer B, a limited third person view. So limited third person view يعني بنشوف كل حاجة بس من الperspective بتاع شخص معين. Aligned closely with Lord Henry's perceptions, but we don't have his perceptions here على فكرة. We don't have بس أفكار Lord Henry, برضو we have أفكار Basil or Bustle, whatever his name is. So that doesn't work. An objective reporter, مشكلة هنا, it's not objective. Why is it not objective? عشان objective يعني هيقول لك كل حاجة directly. ولكن, like for example here, a delicate perfume, for example. This doesn't show objectivity. This is a subjective experience. ممكن واحد delicate واحد تاني مش عارف ايه. So من كتر description with details, it's not an objective reporter providing unbiased descriptions, all biased. A first person account ده مستحيل صح, عشان first person محتاج I. So here we're going to go here with answer A. We're going to go with answer A. ايه رأيكم في الابديتس الجديدة دول برضو حركات بقى مستر سامر. Number two, the passage primarily serves two. So هنا في number two بيسألنا what is the main idea of the passage أو إيه لازمة الباسج كلها. Juxtapose conflicting artistic philosophies. ممكن ده جاي في الآخر ما بين Lord Henry and Basil, right? Illustrate the corrupting influence of beauty. Is beauty really corrupting? No, it's the corrupting influence of intellect, not beauty. The corrupting influence of intellect عشان هو كان بيقول لو دخلت رأيك هيبوظ art. So we won't say answer B. Examine the relationship between artist and subject. Yes, طبعا ده احتمال كبير جدا عشان passage كلها بيركز لنا على artist Basil and the subject his art نفسه. So this is good. I like this. Critique societal expectations of the artistic community. This is off topic. صح. So here we're going to go with either A or C. المشكلة في answer A, this is actually too specific. It's not just artistic philosophies. It's كل حاجة around it. So the answer is C. الارtists how they feel. الphilosophies بتاعتهم. The effect of the art. So answer C is a broader answer. And the only time احنا عايزين إجابة broad or general is with the passage questions. The main idea of the passage serves to. مش عايزين أي حاجة too specific. عشان this is too specific. لو قلنا ده هناخد بس الباراجراف مش فاكر any paragraph كان بيتكلم عن المايند والart. Just basically this, and it's not just this. So it's more than this. So it's examining the relationship. So I'm going to examine the relation between artist and subject. ده بقى كل ال aspects of كل ال facets. So here we're going to say answer C. Number 3. Lord Henry Wotton's character is best described as again, another question هتشوفوها في EST بيسألك describe the character. Cynically perceptive. يعني ايه cynically? He's overall negative character. Perceptive يعني بيشوف اللي حواليه. Maybe, by the way, I'll tell you why. Hedonistically indolent. So ده واحد بقى بيحب ياكل ويشرب وي وبرضه ما عندوش limit. No. The only hedonism اللي احنا شايفينها هنا, number one, luxury, و number two, all of the smoking he does. بس مش هنقول عليه شخصيته hedonistically indolent, intellectually superior. This has a negative connotation. And Lord Henry على فكرة it doesn't come off as a jerk. Lord Henry على فكرة بيحاول يشجع صاحبه. So we're not gonna say C. Morally ambiguous. يعني هو مبادئ عنده يعني ايه right or wrong وكده is ambiguous, is unclear. So Lord Henry has moral ambiguity. I don't think so either. صح عشان he's not morally ambiguous. So we're going to say cynically perceptive. And why do we say cynically perceptive? Well, number one, كان في lines كان بيكلمنا عن الأكاديمي. أنا مش فاكر كان فين الأكاديمي. وكان في سؤال تاني برضو على الأكاديمي ده. I think it was 53 until 56 until 63. Like here, this shows us being cynically perceptive, right? Again, Lord Henry's observations about art, beauty, and intellect reveal a keen insight. يقدر يدي feedback, but it's cynical. So cynical means negative. وهنا بيقول مثلا the academy is too large and too vulgar, right? You must certainly send it next year to the Grosvenor, I guess governor. Whenever I have gone, or the academy is too large and too vulgar. Whenever I have gone there, there are too little people or too many people. So this shows a cynicism بتاعته. برضه there's been 98 until 105 and بيتكلم عن art and beauty, right? And هو again السينيسيزم باينه, البرسبشن باينه. perception يعني هو شايف ايه, والسينيسيزم بيجي يقول ما تدخلش الانتلكت بتاعتك في الارت. So I like to answer A here. I think this was evidence as well. Okay, cool. So برضو كان عندنا evidence question. Hopefully these line numbers كانوا واضحين بالنسبة لكم. Which is the best evidence that shows cynicism? So he's offering critique of intellect, suggesting it destroys the face and body, right? I see there's a problem here from B with C, صح? Actually, these two evidences can work. I'm sorry about that. So لو قلت لي 52 until 63, this would work. This shows the perception of cynicism. Cynicism يعني negative perspective. Or من 98 until 105 برضو and بيتكلم عن الintellect والart. Intellect is in itself a mode of exaggeration and destroys the harmony of any face. This برضو shows cynicism is a negative perception. So لو بتفرجوا على الفيديو, the answer is C. Because I probably changed this. So here the answer is C. Let's go to question number 5. The author's use of sensory language in the first paragraph, in lines 1 until 6. So if he sensory language هنا serves a similar function to which of the following later in the passage. So أول حاجة عايزين نعملها, عايزين نقرأ lines 1 through 6. And لو قرأنا lines 1 through 6, you're going to find this very rich language. صح? The studio was filled with the rich odor of roses, and when the light summer winds stirred amidst the trees, there came through the open door the heavy scent of lilac, or the more delicate perfume of the pink flowering thorn. So this is sensory من ناحية, it's very rich language, evocative language. بنقول عليها evocative. يعني evocative بيكون صورة عندكم. So عايزين برضو حاجة شبه rich language بيوصف حاجة, some sort of sensory details. So كده answer A, the description of the portrait in lines 31 until 34. المشكلة في 31 until 34 ده البورتريت هنا. هو just بيقول لنا facts عن الصورة, بس مش بيدينا rich or evocative language, مش بيكون صورة عندي. Lord Henry's critique of the academy, احنا خلاص اتكلمنا على ده. There's no sensory language here. أنا عايزاكم تركزوا على إجابة C من 40 until 45. And check out enter C here. As the painter looked at the gracious and comely form, yet so skillfully mirrored in his heart, a smile of pleasure passed across his face and seemed about to linger there. but he suddenly started up, closing his eyes, placed his fingers upon the lids, as though you see here very descriptive language. بيكون صورة. مش كده برضه بنقول عليها it is evocative language. Evocative يعني بيديني صورة في دماغي. So answer C is a good one. Answer D is an analysis. It's not giving us a picture. So remember, sensory language يعني ايه؟ حاجة بالsense. Taste, touch, smell, see, hear. So حاجة بيكون أو حاجة بيappeal للsenses بتاعتنا. Number 6, the word conjures in lines 36 means. أساساً كلمة conjures. Let me go to line 36 الأول. Let's read the context too as well. Did I make a mistake? Yeah, I did. It should be line 39, which line 36. Basil Hallward, whose sudden disappearance some years ago caused at the time such public excitement and gave rise to so many strange conjures. Rumors. في واحد فجأة كده مش موجود. هو راح فين نعرفش. So it caused a lot of rumors. It caused a lot of rumors. So مش هنقول investigations or accusations or fabrications. Fabrications يعني كده. Accusations يعني بيقول حد عمل حاجة. Investigation يعني بعمل بحث. Not really. It's a speculation. So that's ظن. It's related to being presumptuous or assumptuous. So speculations. عشان في واحد he disappeared and then suddenly there's a whole bunch of rumors. Based on the passage, Basil Hallward's attitude towards his portrait can be described as. So Basil, how does he feel about the portrait? في الأول, he had a smile on his face, right? But suddenly he closed his eyes and placed his finger on there and he didn't like it. تمام? So that's one of his reactions للportrait. Another reaction بيقول I think he said, I put myself too much in there. Okay, right here, برضو, right? I've put too much of myself into it. So برضو, he's criticizing himself. فإحنا ممكن نقول objectively critical. He is criticizing himself. So he's objectively critical عشان في البداية كان مبسوط بعد كده قعد وبص وبيديك criticism بيقول لا مش عاجبني عشان كذا. Indifferent and dismissive معناه ما يهموش بس هو قاعد بقى بيعيط وبيزعق. Enthusiastically promotional. It's too strong عشان ده كده معناها بيعمل تسويق الارت بتاعته. Prideful yet conflicted. Okay, so this is another tricky one, right? Prideful yet conflicted. So I'm actually gonna go with answer A or D. Okay, just one second. So objectively critical, prideful, he was happy, and then conflicted, objectively critical. Oh, okay. So I'll go with answer D actually. Prideful yet conflicted. So زي ما احنا قلنا في البداية هنا, his attitude towards his portrait, he was very happy in the beginning زي ما احنا قلنا, but then ما كانش عاجبه. بيقول الوحش فيها. So I like this. Objectively critical. Now, المشكلة بقى جاية من كلمة objective means ما بيدخلش رأيه, ولكن لورد هنري بيقول ما بيدخلش رأيه. Okay, عشان Basil بيقول I have put too much of myself into it. Lord Henry laughed. Yes, I knew you would, but it is quite true all the same. Too much of yourself in it. Upon my word, Basil, I didn't know you were so vain. I really can't see any semblance between you. So it's not objective, right? He's just being hard on himself. A little prideful yet conflicted. So you see, I like to answer A. I checked other answers. Oh no, answer D. I prefer that more. Number 8, the passage suggests that Lord Henry views the relationship between intellect and beauty as هم عكس بعض. Intellect بيبوظ beauty. Intellect بيبوظ beauty. Beauty بيبوظ intellect. So they're not complementary. That means بيساعدوا بعض. عشان there's a part here بيقول ما دخلش الانتلكت فيها. Right? You have an intellectual expression, but real beauty ends where intellectual expression begins. So beauty ends where الintellect بيبدأ. So they're mutually exclusive, ما لهمش علاقة ببعض, and antagonistic. They go against each other. Intellect is in self a mode of exaggeration and destroys the harmony of any face. Irrelevant ده مستحيل, right? ملهاش علاقة. ازاي? Subjective and culturally determined. He's intellect and beauty. I mean, how do you describe? No, that doesn't make sense. ازاي اوصف intellect and beauty as subjective? and culturally determined. يعني الثقافة بيقول ممكن إجابة دي لو دخلت رأيي في الموضوع، بس ما فيش حاجة في التكست بيقول it's subjective or culturally determined الاثنين. So go be either mutually exclusive عشان بيقول ده بينتهى التاني بيبدأ, and antagonistic, they go against each other. Number 9, the author's depiction of the academy primarily serves two. So let's go back to the academy here. The academy is too large and too vulgar. Whenever I have gone there, there have been either so many people that have not been able to see the pictures, which was dreadful, or so many pictures that have not been able to see the people, which was worse. Okay, so here question number 9 بيسألنا well ليه احنا كتبنا الانفورمation ده is to show that Lord Henry's راجل مثقف. I mean, let's check out our answers الأول. Highlight the exclusivity of the art world. I mean, is that really what's doing here? هو بيقول لما روحت الأكاديمي كان ناس كتير بس صور قليلة في حاجة مش كويسة. وبرضه قال لما رحت تاني لقيت صور كتير بس مش ناس مش كفاية عشان ينتشر. So برضه حاجة مش كويسة. So I highlight the exclusivity of the art world. It doesn't show us that it could be true, but that's not the full reason. Critique the commercialization of art. No. He's not critiquing commercialization of art. It's not supported. Commercialization of art معناها نبيع الart. Illustrate Lord Henry elitist attitudes. I like this, but Sanya. Contrast public and private appreciation of art. Again, is it contrasting public and private appreciation? No. عشان لو قرأت line numbers هلاقي ناس كتير ولكن صور قليلة أو العكس صور كتير بس ناس قليلة. So it's not contrasting appreciation itself. So I go with answer C. Illustrate Lord Henry's elitist attitudes. And ليه نقول إجابة C? بيتنك. Right? Is that the correct word? I hope that's the correct word. هو بيقول basically shows us that هو مش عاجبه حاجة. So it is showing us some sort of elitist attitude. Elitist attitude تعرفين الناس اللي بيقولوا لو مثلا واحد بيقرا كتاب وعملوا فيلم يقول لا بس ما كانش عاجبني الفيلم عشان ما كانش زي الأوريجينال, for example. So that's an elitist attitude. And finally, number 10, how does the passage portray Lord Henry's physical demeanor relate to his expressed views on art and beauty? So ده بياخد كذا خطوة عشان نقدر identify an answer. So from 7 until 12, it describes the luxurious home, okay? From the corner of the divan of Persian saddlebags, on which he was lying, smoking, as was his custom in normal cigarettes, Lord Henry could just catch the gleam of this honey-sweet and honey-colored blossoms of the laburnum, whose tremulous branches seemed hardly able to bear the burden of a beauty so flame-like as theirs. Very poetic language. لو انتوا فهمتوا what's being said here, عنده بقى fantasy bags, carpets, whatever, he's laying, he's smoking cigarettes, راجل بقى يعني مرتاح, he's chilling, he's enjoying it. So let's check something out. So how does the portrayal of this physical behavior relate to his views? Okay, طبعا it agrees with the views على فكرة. Okay, and I'll show you why. It contradicts his statement, suggesting a disconnect between his words and action. No, he's opulent, he's opulent, like very decadent, very rich. So I wouldn't say it contradicts his statements. It reinforces his philosophy, demonstrating his dedication to aesthetic pleasure. In aesthetic pleasure, things that are beautiful, things that are nice. And do we have aesthetic pleasure here? غير الانtroduction بس أنا هنا you're talking about the Persian saddlebags. You're talking about the gleam of the honey sweet and honey blossoms. You're talking about the branches that bear the burden of beauty. So it does reinforce his philosophy. هو راجل بيحب beautiful things, well done things, حاجات نظيفة, حاجات ليها نظام. So this was a good one. Now it's typical برضو of the explanation اللي كان موجود, I think, in quite a few places, but his views were, I think, here, intellect and art, right? Again, intellect and art, بيقولوا ما دخلش الintellect into the art alone لوحدها كده is beautiful. So it's a tricky question. It foreshadows his criticism of intellectual pursuits, بس ما عندناش intellectualism في line numbers دولت. عندنا بس a set and setting of Lord Henry. But I wouldn't say it's foreshadowing برضو. It ironically juxtaposes his refined taste with his indolent behavior. بس هنا ما عندناش indolent behavior. Indolent يعني ايه؟ poor behavior, قلة الأسلوب، قلة الأدب. So here we're going to go with answer B. This was Dorian Gray passage. If you're watching, good job. You're going to learn things for Sema out.